Hey everybody, it's Bob from Thrust-FPV. Got, Rotor Ranch here as a normal and our late night show that we're just now compiling and starting to put together. I've also got a couple guests here. I've got Sean Kwiatkowski. This is our new Thrust-FPV team pilot that we picked up in the fall this year, right before the holidays. And when we've got Jacob Wilson from Bros Beer FPV. And then you
Happy
got your
to.
famous Rotor Ranch over there in the tall picture. Um, you guys, how's it going?
Good, good. How's it
Good,
going
man.
tonight, Bob?
Yeah, I can't complain. Man, I've had a pretty good week.
Yeah, we survived another week. Tomorrow's Friday.
Yep, yep, yep.
It's Friday Eve.
So
Ain't
this
that
is
the truth?
pretty interesting doing a nighttime show this kind of late, but it's at the same point it is a little bit quieter. At least in my home, it's a little bit quieter.
Yeah.
But so what do you guys got going on here in the event over in Bro Beer FPV land?
You talking about CFL?
Yeah.
Yeah. That reminds me, I've got some things that we're gonna do with that too. But so we teamed up with CFL Zach Pollock over there, and great guy. We all hung out. Bob, me, you, Donnie, Trey, Rotor Ranch. We all of us that were hanging out at the camper for FPV Fest. But he brought up CFL at that moment. And then, as we rolled through the holidays, we kind of were chatting here and there. And so we teamed up with them, and we're going to be putting together a big outing and a big show out there. Um, Hopefully, getting a lot of people going to go out there and hang out with us, similar to what we did over at FPV Fest, and get some good memories made and a lot of fun flying, and I'm
So is
sure a
this
bunch of
quads?
crazy ass stories.
Is this quads and planes, or is this just planes?
No, he's going to have quads and planes. He's going to format, I believe, similar to the FPV Fest, where the wing guys are going to kind of take over in the morning, and then the evening will be kind of blended in with some quads, and then I believe he's going to have some really really cool night flying. A lot of guys are gearing up for their night wings. I know Trey Hundle, local guy, he's got a badass night core, hardcore 44 that he's decking out, and
Yeah.
then John Kennedy over there. I know he's got some. He's really excited about the night flying, so he's going to be getting on that.
I'm hoping to
Uh,
do some of that here in the near future.
yeah, me too.
He's
I've got.
even some even discussed doing a little combat, maybe.
That no, that sound FPV combat. That sounds like a blast.
Yeah, even line of sight
Yeah.
combat. We had it was watching the guys do that was a lot of fun
Oh,
at
I've we've
Flight
been
Fest.
doing that for years. I've gotten assassins. I've got an assassin up there that's here. Give me that assassin, Trevor.
Yeah, there's definitely going to be some gaggles going on. I mean, there's going to be. I mean, it should kind of be like FPV Fest on steroids.
It says hit me.
What's that?
I painted hit me with a bullseye.
Oh, nice.
My assassin. Yeah. It
Yeah,
doesn't.
I can't see your feed, Bob. Just so you know.
Yeah, it's coming to you. It'll be
Okay.
it'll be on the show.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've got the show up over here. I know there's a huge lag, so
Yeah.
um,
It's a little 20-second delay or something like that. There's nothing we can do about it. It's not us. It's the website.
okay. Yeah, no, I was just trying to check out your assassin with a bullseye on it.
Yeah, it's coming. It'll be in the live stream there.
But yeah, I
Um,
mean that's all the fun stuff. But it's also the hanging out moments and getting together, kind of like what we witnessed over at FPV Fest. I think it's been kind of known and said that the weather was not optimal when we were down there, and it still made to be a absolute blast. And I think everybody that was there had a blast. I'm not sure. There's a couple of quad guys that we didn't hang out with too much that were down the way, and I don't know if that was intimidation or if maybe just location because they were kind of on the other side of the big FPV Fest tent. But I know that we were rocking as soon as we got there. I mean, I still remember Joe. We're driving in. It's fucking like I don't know, or excuse my language. It's like 11 o'clock or 10:30 or some crazy number. We're calling Buxton on the phone, and we're like, "Yo, got us in, man. We don't know where we're going."
It was dark. I mean,
Yeah,
black.
it was real
I
dark.
remember you guys just emerged out of nowhere. There was this great big, enormous, well, Texas-sized truck pulling a camper that would
Slinging
come through,
mud
and
from the
then
camper.
I'm like, wait a minute, it was starting now. It was starting to get squishy before you guys even pulled that through there. Even my minivan was starting to get a little bit squishy in its step. Then me and Donnie were sitting there, and we're like, who's this pulling up here in this great enormous freaking thing? You know, then you parked
Yeah,
it
here
right in the middle of the
Texas.
mud. You
Yeah,
know.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, we went down. I remember, I mean, one of the things I remember about pulling in there is Joe was driving. So Joe had the leg to get us in. And I'm in the passenger seat and we're busting through and the wheels start spinning. And Joe's like, man, I got it floored. I'm like, ah, it's the limited slip, man. It's just letting it, grip. But we were moving, but it was like he had it floored, but the motor wasn't going anywhere. It was just kind of, and we plowed through that son of a bitch with two-wheel drive, two-drive pickup truck pulling I think it's like a 20-foot tongue pull trailer.
That was
That's
yep.
nuts.
It was awesome,
Yeah.
dude.
And then boom, we were there, and God, I think Bob, you were up, you were hanging out there, and we didn't really do the formal induction at that
Me
point.
and Alex Grieve were flying my night vision air around when you guys pulled up.
Yeah, and passing
I
around a
think
little
it was,
jar.
yeah, I think it was just me and Alex were the only people that were up, I think, or that were there at the time.
Yeah. Yeah, I think you guys were the only ones up. I think there was a few people that were camping because there was a couple of times that we were walking around, kind of checking everything out, and we're like, hey man, keep it down. There's somebody in that tent or something.
Yeah, it was good stuff, man.
It was great.
The
But
one
yeah,
of the
those
things I tell you what, man, this may seem weird, but one of the things that stuck in my memory and that had me laugh, I tried to actually contain myself, but Dave Holline was sitting underneath the tent, and he was sitting in a little folding chair. And then this rain, it just started coming, and it built up a little sag in the top of the tent. You know what I mean? The fabric in the top of the tent where he was sitting, and he sat and he had his legs were set wide open, like his legs were set wide, and then he was holding his beer. He takes a drink of his beer. Nobody touched anything, but all that water broke through. Not one drop landed on him. It went between his freaking legs. It was like it was the weirdest thing, you know. I'm like, oh my god! And then it did it again. You know, that was crazy. But I don't know.
I remember that. Yeah, that was right in front of the camper on the right-hand side.
Yeah.
I remember it vividly. Yeah. He was just sitting there and like
I
he
was
just
like,
gushed and came down. He just kind of like looked and was like, okay,
wasn't
what's
even
going on?
stunned. Wasn't even shocked.
Yeah. Didn't miss a beat, man. That's Dave.
And
He's,
then the Jeremiah Weed thing, that was awesome.
mm-hmm.
Thanks, Chris.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Chris sending his love.
Yep.
Absolute great guy, man. But yeah, I mean, the support and meeting everybody out there, it was just, it's almost addicting, right? I mean,
Oh, absolutely.
that fun is what I'm striving for. I mean, I know it's been said, or I've said it a few times in some of the live feeds that I have, but I've got an absolute great crew of guys that I fly with down here. Joe's one of them. But like we can have a get together with the same guys, 8-10 guys, drop of a hat, and I mean we're out, and every time that we leave there, we're smiles on our face, telling stories, sending messages on the way home, whatever it is, and we get to experience that a lot, and we want to get together with a lot of people and kind of experience it with them too. A bunch of new people that we can hang out with, a bunch of people that we chat with online. And that's where these events get really addicting. I mean, it's like, man, I want to do this. I want to go. I want to get to this event because, man, I get to see these people, or I get to fly with these people, or hell, just even watch some of these people fly is badass.
Yes.
See, I didn't know that Jamie Buxton was there before you guys were there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We were it was probably 2 days before you guys, I think, or something like that. And then all of a sudden you guys got there. And then all of a sudden, the whole herd would just move from what was spread out across this place. The whole herd moved to the south end of that runway. You know what I mean?
Yeah, we had
it became Planet Fun. down there on that end of the runway. You know what I mean?
Yeah. The
It was.
beautiful thing was, I mean, I don't remember a lot of stress. I mean, it was, everybody just kind of doing their own thing, and like the rain came, and we were all hanging out, and I remember a couple of people flew, and then me and Trey kind of looked at each other like, "Fuck it, man, we're gonna go fly," and we go out with our both of our boom drags, and tear it up, a little bit of rain going on. I've got video of that on my Flight Fest feed, but there's raindrops. You can't even hardly see Trey. All you see is some pink LEDs, but but it was so lax. I mean, it was so I don't know, just really, really, really mellow event. A lot of fun times and very little stress.
Yeah, that's another thing. Ready made. This ain't just some random. I've like Ready Made for a many years, but they had a way of hosting that event. They had a little golf cart or whatever that little motored thing was that they were riding around with no lid on it. They would ride around there and they would visit. Even Ernie Skavinky. I don't know if you know him, but he's another really good friend of mine. His son was the one that was there on the Segway. So
Okay, yeah, yeah,
he is part of all that random going by. He was asking me if I wanted help with anything. You know what I mean? They're gonna help you build your own stuff if you want it. You know what I mean? It was
yeah.
like a catering. You know what I mean? And that was awesome. You know what I mean? You know
yeah.
what I mean? When people can take that extra few little thoughts to say, hey man, what happens if every hour and a half we send the cart down there with a trash can on the back of it so the guys ain't gotta walk all the way up to the other end of the runway. That's huge. You know what I
Yeah.
mean? Like you
Yeah,
said,
yeah.
man, we didn't have to worry about walking it. You know what I mean? They had trash cans. You know what I mean? Anything you wanted. It was anything you wanted. They even had
I
food,
think
little concession buggy thing.
And CFL is going to be Ready Made RC is going to be part of that as well. I don't know if you guys or not, but they are the major sponsor, the platinum sponsor for CFL, so they're definitely going to be down there. I can't wait to see Kevin again. That crazy nut. He he came down for Flight Fest here in Texas, and man, it's fun. Like I guess that addiction thing comes back, but you get to see him again. But Kevin came over, and I mean, I don't know, it kind of felt like this, but he, kind of gravitated over to the BBF hangout. We had flags flying, we had all kinds of stuff. A buddy of ours here made a
you got that vibe.
badass.
Everybody loves that BBF vibe.
Yeah,
That vibe.
BBF
The
keeps down
the propaganda. It's
Yeah,
strong.
keeps
The
hanging
Yeah,
down.
spread
propaganda
that
is
vibe is thick.
strong.
It's like jelly. You got to spread it.
Yeah, thin. Sometimes thin, because sometimes it gets thick and egos get in the way. But
Well, hey guys, I don't,
we don't have egos, man.
in interest of trying to squeeze this in tonight, do you mind if we break this off and we move on to the next thing here?
Yeah,
Because we have kind of a few things going on. Sorry
yeah.
about there's something going through my throat right now. So this course here, the CFL thing, how many are all of you guys going? How is that going down?
So, right now we have, I know, so I don't have confirmed solid from anybody. I mean, a few people, but I know that my brother is planning on driving from California. You guys, I don't know if you're going to do it like I do, but I picture, the United
Go
States.
hard, dude.
My brother's coming from California. He's going to drive to Texas, hang out with us, and then we're going to caravan and go to Florida,
Yeah.
all the way across the United States. So my brother's coming in.
Are you taking the trailer?
Daryl Wilson, one of the other founders of BBF, and then Dave's schedule and family and work and everything else is so I don't want to say sketchy, but it's he's going to make it if he can make it. I'm just going to say that. And then we've got Joe. Joe's going to be coming down from Houston. We're trying to talk a few other guys. My big bro from a different mother, Trey Hundle, is going to be coming down with us. He's either going to ride with me or we're going to be traveling across. It's 14 hours from Houston. And then there's been a lot of chat with the other local guys here about everybody else coming. So getting Wee down there, Justin down there. I'm not sure on Lucas.
How
And
many
these are all
guys do you guys have locally?
locally. We got, man, what, Joe? We got like 10 people that we fly with daily.
And there's probably about 8 to 10 core pilots with the wing rippers, and then randomly we have 3 or 4. So I mean, there's like 14 or 15 people out this way that fly, but we have a core group of probably about, I would say, 8 pilots, 7 or 8 guys that fly on the regular, like that we can all keep up with each other too.
And it'll keep growing, man. As long as
Yeah,
you're in the public eye and you're inspiring others, it'll keep them numbers keep growing.
Yeah, well, we have a really good flying seasons here. So the FPV thing has always been really strong in Texas. We have a lot of good pilots between Austin, Dallas, and Houston. You got some people who are very passionate about what they do, and it shows. You look at DRL and you look at some of the other big FPV things that go on, and you'll see a lot of Texas pilots. You'll see a lot of people from Texas.
Yeah, a lot of that's the weather. I think the weather, and then we've got a pretty good community. So that community can't be here if the weather's not here either. So I think it kind of goes hand in hand.
Yep.
True.
Yep.
True.
Yeah. What was Jake?
You
saying that we needed 35 more pilots to register for CFL to make it happen?
Yeah, give or take. And that's just cusp numbers, just to get it through the door. I think Zach has got it limited down to, I think there's only 100 pilots that can register, and that's only reason why he does that is so that there's more fly time for everybody. Mm-hmm. So when you register, that pretty much covers all
that's a lot.
The expenses. Yeah,
20 is 20 is a really good number, man. It really is.
Yeah, but then again, I mean, you
got to cover it. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got to cover it, but then you also have all day. So, generally when we go fly, I mean, we get maybe 3 hours if we're lucky, 3-4 hours, and you're camping out down there. So, I mean, there's just constant flying and constant things going on. So you get, I don't know, I think a good sweet number, 75, 80.
And I'm curious to see, not to cut you off, but I'm curious to see when you said the numbers. I'm curious, ready-made that ready-made FPV Fest, we were blending 1.3, 2.4, 2.3, 900, you know what I mean? All those different radio frequencies, video frequent channels at one time. You know what I mean? But they were managing it. We knew who had those rigs and where they were staying. You know what I mean? It was very, very well thought out. The people that were there, they knew where they needed their positions and things needed to be. I'm curious to see if you guys got that CFL rigged up kind of the same way. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and I will premise that with Zach's running it. We're just helping support it as a big event and big community event to grow the sport and everything else. So I mean, Zach kind of he's going to be running it. So I'm not sure what all of his plans are. I just kind of know what I've heard through his our interview with Zach that I had, and then some of the chats that I've had with him as well. But it'll be a rotating, kind of like FPV Fest was, and then we did Flight Fest in Houston, and in Flight Fest in Houston we actually had quad guys that were, I don't know, I think it was about 300 feet. Yeah, more than that. It was more than a football field, maybe about 400, 450. But they were running on 25 milliwatt, and we were running on 25 milliwatt, and we had no problems. Absolute zero video problems. The only person
we ran on right hand and they ran on left hand, right? Is that what that was?
Well, we tried. We definitely stuck with that, but I know that there was a couple of pilots that were over there that had nothing but left hand. Gotcha. So they ran left hand.
And they still had no issues.
And we had zero issues. The only person that had an issue was me, and that was because it was complete user error. but it wasn't a video problem with anybody else. It was my problem.
Well,
But
definitely catch an eye on that. I'm really curious. I'm probably not going to be able to make it. I try to take other time off, including something else in the near future with you guys. So I'm probably not going to. I'm just really curious how that's, or do they squeeze everybody into the 5/8 pulling cards thing, and then if you got 1.3, you can have it whenever you want. You know what I mean? I'm just curious to see the frequency of, if there's a structure out there for these events, for the wing guys. Not that we need to take over anything, but like you're saying, the quads, they got their, but their event creates so much traffic, and it takes time that we get the scraps on kind of like both ends of it, whatever's kind of left over to fly. You know what I'm saying? That's my thing. Can we enrich it a little bit for us to where,
Yeah, and I will say too, CFL's been going on for 7 years now. So, and they've had anywhere from 70 to 100 pilots that show up. So they've got a system, I'm sure, that works out. But a lot of it's going to go on with, and what worked in Flight Fest is the guys that were working the quads was the guy that ran it, Neil Merrick, good buddy of mine here in Houston. And, we were on the same page. We communicated right and left. We had walkie-talkies. We really opened the lines of communication to make sure that everybody got some fair flying time. And it, like I said, it worked out great.
cool.
And hell, I think they had 28 pilots for the quad course, and then we had flying FPV for Flight. And I know Flight Fest is generally line of sight, but we had just in our crew probably 10, 12 guys flying FPV.
Yeah, we had our own little flight line.
Yeah.
That is cool. Do you guys know how far you are from your mark? From having
how far we are from the mark of
the event happening?
The 35. 35, 40, I think, is the number. And I'm not 100% sure, but that's last read I've gotten.
Was that 35 more?
Yes, sir.
Oh,
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's Florida, though, man. Them guys are everywhere. Get FPVs down there.
Yeah, and Zach brings it up a lot of times, but the last minute guys are the ones that he gets a lot of last minute entries, and that's where he's been waiting, but it also hasn't really developed yet, and that's where I think a lot of it is because people don't know too much about it. The other plug about CFL is it supports, all the proceeds go to Easter Seals, so it's a feel good moment, feel good item, as well as being able to support I believe physical element is what Easter Seals is all about, and it's the Easter Seals property that we're going to be having the event on, and the property looks freaking amazing, man. I can't wait to get there because I've been Googling it, and they've got property all over that place.
It looks really nice.
Yeah.
It looks really nice.
Well, if you guys don't mind me real quick, I just want to show you something from the interwebs. It's from FXT. They got their V2 of the Mars camera, my favorite little micro camera. I just wanted to show everybody something. When you're looking at these parts and stuff on the computer, on your screen, you don't realize what the size difference is of some things. This is the T-71, and they even got it inside of a case now. And there's your run cam 2, and then there's your size difference to them. You're still, even with the hard case on it, the FXT is still half the weight, and it's still even smaller of a dimension from what the run cam is. Just figured, just wanted to show that little thing out there. There is a big difference in them little buggers. But the V2 does come with the case now. I've still had V1s for the longest time. I didn't even try the V2, but just wanted to point that out to anybody if they're ever curious.
Nice.
Yeah.
And then I don't know. Hey, I never did compare that one. I don't know if you've seen this one there, Jacob. This is the gesture cam from FXT as well. It comes with a tiny little 200 milliwatt VTX. Tiny, tiny, tiny. You see that little thing? Little bugger. So it looks like this case is a little bit bigger than the other. It's about the size of a run cam. But you just put your hand in front of it and you can change the channels and you can do your stuff. You can change your light settings, your backlight mode. You can set your channels that you're on for your VTX, all that just through hand gestures instead of having to use cards and stuff. When you first boot to plug your plane in, just hold your hand in front of the camera, go up and down to change whatever it is you want to do instead of having to use cards or this, however you're doing it.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
I believe those are 19 by 19 is the size of the case on those.
Yeah, they are little buggers. They are tiny.
That's crazy.
And you know what the funny thing is? That for that being a combo, for the gesture cam, I would say you want to compare this to something. It's probably like Sparrow, the new Sparrow as far as video quality wise. To come with the VTX and then have the hand gesture feature, it's only $35.
Huh.
That's not bad.
Yeah,
If that isn't creeping up on something, you know what I mean? I don't know what it is. But yeah, I don't know how long they're going to keep that deal like that before they figure it out. But
yeah,
I think that's very low, in my opinion.
Nice.
But Sunny's good people. She's watching us right now. She did say hi right before the show, so hi, Sunny.
Hey, Sonny, what's happening?
So you guys got any questions you got for us?
As far as cameras go, or what do we?
Just anything in general. I'm just bouncing around, going through the checklist.
No, you're good, man. I mean, I will say, I've been checking out the FXT, the Black Nite. That's hands down, my go-to VTX now.
I told you guys. I like.
You gave me that one.
It's
you gave
for
me that one in
planes.
Ohio.
The quad guys are never going to get the rich benefit to it because most of those things are built into a huge flight controller. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And I'm not generally a big smart audio guy, and that's where it really grabbed me. I'm a button pusher, man. I push a button, I want to see it, and see things light up and all that kind of stuff. And I've been really, really happy with. I think I've got 3 or 4 Black Nites now. I can't remember exactly.
Here's a funny story about me and VTXs and TBS and stuff. Okay, I like TBS. I love Trappy. He's I love talking with him. He's funny stuff. Mike Chin, we used to be pretty much neighbors to each other. That's who I started FPV with. We used to ride around flying everything together. I love their stuff. I hate binary. I do it every day for work. I don't want to look at the blinking of an LED to find what it's doing. That's why I never really got stuck into the TBS stuff. It is worth every dime, I believe. It is better quality, than most things that we can pick up kind of off the shelf. But anyways, to get to kind of a point here, they did, Trappy and Mike Chin are sending me the new 32-bit VTX that he come out with. It's the Unify Pro 32-bit, I think is the name in it. It is not a digital image. I did talk to Mike Chen about this. The image isn't digital. It's the features and how it controls its power. We'll go. Right. Let's not go into that. Let's leave that for a different show. We'll talk about that when I got my paws on it. It should be it'll be this week, like 2 or 3 days. I just got it landed in U.S. today.
Oh, cool.
Nice. So that's really cool stuff. So I can't wait to put my paws on that.
So Jacob, you spent the day at the beach today? Is that what you did for work? You went to the beach?
Yeah, no. Yeah, I was down on the beach working, and then on my way home.
Play some of this footage of this beach today. This was epic. I mean,
Here we go.
What a beautiful Hey,
Yeah, poor guys up north, man. I'm sorry, but I just had a beautiful day and thought I'd rip a couple packs for everybody. Actually, I
Not a
only ripped
cloud
one
in the
pack.
sky.
Dude, it was like 28 here today.
Oh,
Yeah,
it rains so bad.
I feel you.
that keeps me in the house.
It was like I mean, when I got my truck this morning, it was like 28 degrees at 6 a.m. And then by noon, I think I was somewhere around 54, 56.
Yeah.
So I was out with my jacket on, but I mean, I was totally comfortable.
So I do have a dumb question, not to cut you off, but I did badge this right wing. Did I guess that wrong?
No, yes, 100%. Right wing.
Okay.
It's a hardcore 44, and that's the it's deemed the 44 special just because it's hardcore 44, and then it's got twin motors on the back of it. Twin motors running quad 30 amp quad ESCs, which I when I built it, I wanted to kind of bridge that segue between quad guys and wing guys of have if you have quad parts laying around and all that kind of stuff, you can do some really awesome things with just 30 amp ESC and a couple quad motors. And originally I had EFAW 2406, 2407, 2800 kV motors on it, and I've been kind of playing around with motors. I ended up having a lot of fun with the Gorilla 2507 3000 kV motor.
I just got the FPV AF 2705.
Ooh,
2200 kV.
2705. That's a big can, man.
Yeah, you need to put that in the mail. Send it right to my house.
they did. They're only. I'm ready made. They're only on sale for $20. I think they still are.
My birthday.
I love that move right there. That little nosedive, dude. Your stomach drops every.
Go back. And
but yeah,
look at
so
that
I ended up. I started thinking about it. I'm like, man, I've got these big ass motors on the back. They both weigh, they're 44 grams or somewhere around 40 grams a piece. And I'm like, man, they're kicking a 3000 kV. Like, you know what? Let me see if I can get some smaller motors on here and see if it still performs really well. And I ended up going to a 1608 3200 kV motors on the back of it now, and it performed beautifully. The weight was there. It helped out with getting the weight off the back, but then it also helped my battery out because I don't know if anybody flies a hardcore 44, but there's the battery bay is pretty slim, pretty not very deep. And
44.
And I got I use 5200 start batteries in there. They're only 10C discharge. So with dual motors, I'm pulling a lot of amps.
Yeah.
So I've come down, man. That battery's, I mean, not like blistering hot, but it's like unhealthy hot.
Oh yeah. Oh, I know the feeling.
And but yeah, those 1608s, man. I think I was cruising. I was cruising pretty good clip at about 30 amps, and that's totally doable with that battery and with that wing combination. So and that wing is a pretty heavy wing. I've got a GoPro in the nose. I've got about 3 ounces of weight in the nose. The camera just to offset the PLA motor mount that my buddy Wee made.
The battery that he's talking about there. Sorry, I'm holding up the 44 up here to show him the battery bay you're talking about.
Yeah, so that, and then, being a bigger wing, I mean, there was a little breeze coming off the bay. It wasn't too high, maybe about 9 miles an hour, somewhere in there. So, and a lot of that flying that I was doing, I was crossing the wind stream, but yeah, it flies like a dream, and it takes off with those twin motors, man. It takes off so smooth. Like there's no
twin motors,
nothing, and it's just boom, you fling it, it's taken off.
Did you guys fly that plane I sent Wee?
What's that?
Did you guys fly that plane? No, not yet. I can't wait till you guys. Somebody get a good grip on that. When you go to launch it, hold it really good when he smashes the throttle. It tries to pull you up in the air.
Mm.
It's fun, man. It isn't all that fast, to be honest with you. It's just torquey, is all. I mean, it's crazy.
Which wing is it? Or
That
plane?
it's the big black one with a shark fin on it. It's called the Transformer. It's
Oh,
a
fin
fin
Okay.
wing. Yeah,
Yeah, no, I haven't seen it. I haven't.
it's kind of funny looking.
that thing's a monster.
Yeah, it is
Yeah.
big. See, here's the thing. Okay, I want you guys to think about this. Okay, so it does have a weird shaped wing. Payload's 20 pounds. So it may not
What?
be the
20?
swiftest, fastest plane that you. It's not little. You know what I mean? And it's got a huge wing area.
Looks like a giant
But you can
spaceship.
strap down on it, man. Get the smoke systems, put a speaker system in there, play music from it or whatever you want to do. You know what I
Probably,
mean? That's
we
that's
probably
what that plane's good for. Is playing with it.
yeah, we put a stereo system in it, a vector, and just make it loiter.
Yeah.
There you go. Yeah, it just circles around. It's like a concert. Surround sound like a mofo.
Hmm.
That's the other cool thing with that plane too, man. That 44 that I have, the sound it kicks off. I describe it as a pissed off sewing machine, but I mean it sounds insane, man. It sounds like an
Sounds
EDF.
better with this setup. It definitely sounds different with this way you have it set up now.
Yeah, yeah. So it's super fun, man. But yeah, we had nice weather. I try to tote a wing or two, even every once in a while a quad in the back of the truck whenever I'm working, because I work all over the Houston area. I've got some pretty cool parks and things to go to. So if I'm over in a certain area, like if I'm off on the west side of town, there's a park that I like to visit. North side on my way home, I'll hit up a couple of parks. And then obviously in Galveston, there's a great little spot that I fly at. Not too many obstacles, but it's wide open, beachfront. That was the first time I kind of got low against the beach. Kind of
Yeah,
check out.
kind of freaky.
Yeah. It's a little nerve wracking when you're flying over rushing water. I mean,
And that wind, the wind
just
off the shore is
lake
different.
water. Yeah, it was fun, man. It was killer time. It was great.
Yeah. Well, Sean went somewhere.
Yeah.
All right. So I got a question for you. What about Texas Fest?
Yeah.
All right.
Go ahead, kick that off, Joe.
So we had the dates moved because I wasn't really paying attention to it when I first started discussing it, and it fell on Easter weekend.
No biggie.
So I asked Neil Merrick, again, local guy here. He's got the ranch, and we moved it. We were able to move it to the weekend afterwards. So that's going to be a big bonus because I think we'll be able to get more of the local people to participate, and we're going to need some participation, just like any other event. We're going to need to bring the people there, and
We got to self-boost, self-support, man. We got to make it
Oh,
happen.
yeah.
And make
Yeah,
it
man.
happen or it don't happen.
Yeah, and there's man, Neil's place is amazing. I don't know how many acres that they have. I've only seen a bit and piece of it, but there's just there's ponds, and then there's trees. There's I know a couple of guys, man. They chased around some deer. They've got them in a containment cage.
Yeah, they got those axes, those deer in the back. You got like a whole herd of deer back there.
Yeah, peacocks, man. There's peacocks running around, man. It's crazy. I mean, Neil's place is and it's absolutely gorgeous. It's an old airstrip, which I didn't know until met Roto Ranch actually. But I've been down there hanging out with Neil a bunch of times. So it's out there in the country. Absolute beautiful, beautiful spot. And I'm not trying to plug anything, but I've got a few videos, and there's one of them that I had a blast where I went out there to a quad event, and we did a streamer cut, and put streamers on my 30-inch Mini Z, and had the guys chasing me around. I had the camera facing backwards, so you really get good view of the guys chasing it. And that's at Neil's place, so you can kind of get a good feel of how big and what kind of to expect out there. And So
I got videos. I think we all have videos from that place, man. It's such an epic place to fly. It really is.
So what?
yeah.
How's it?
Scenery, amazing.
How's it gonna work? We're gonna camp at this place, or?
Yeah, yeah. He's gonna open it up for us to camp. There's also gonna be we're gonna have a house there as well as a 5-bedroom house, but that's gonna be more for the organizers of the event. And if everything goes right now we're looking, if we can get the right amount of people to be interested in this, and we can raise the funds to do it. Alex Grieve and Mark Ashton, I reached out to them earlier in the week, and they said they would be interested in coming down. Um, so they would have some travel expenses that, I would like to help them cover, as far as that with some pilot registration fees or whatever we do. And of course, I opened up the house to them. I said, if you guys are going to drive from Virginia, toting the trailer, one of the bedrooms, or you guys can use one of the bedrooms. So,
Shit. I seen
yeah,
him. He pulled up in a big old RV. Pick up me and Donnie on the way.
yeah, I don't know what they're going to bring though. You know what I mean? That's again, they're
And then
traveling from
Sean.
Virginia. Is it going to be a pickup truck with a little trailer, or is it going to be the big RV? I don't know what they're planning on. I guess that again has to do if we get the people interested in it. I don't think they're going to drive all this way for 10 pilots to race, but if we had 30, maybe. So it's going to be about participation and about interest. And again, we're still trying to get CFL finished off. So yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot on the table. But we'll keep up with it. I think we'll maybe open up like a poll or registration or something on Bros Beer FPV. Maybe once CFL gets the green light, and we're not, and I don't want to step on nobody's toes for sure and say that we're trying to pull away from somebody's event or trying to do anything like that. I want to go to CFL. I know everybody else does. So we'll just we'll plan accordingly and just take the steps as we need to.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, and what I'll add to that is, Neil's place has got this, huge driveway. It's got to be over 600 feet, maybe more, probably 900 feet. But it comes up, so there's going to be plenty opportunity to camp, set up, any kind of tents and all that kind of stuff. So, everybody that's going to be hanging out is going to have a good time. Then it's going to be kind of in a strip, and then we'll be pretty much lined up on a runway, an old abandoned runway, a grass runway, but it'll be set up there, and then we'll have, tracks and different things going on in the runway area. But it's a massive place, and, everybody that goes there has a great time locally. And then I'm sure there's going to be some Dallas guys that come down. We've got some, really good pilots here locally, but then we also have some really good pilots up in Dallas, quad pilots. And then, really, you got the wing guys that are going to be coming down. So we're going to be doing a blended event, from my understanding.
Yeah.
So we're going to be, trying to involve as many people as possible and make it a huge event. And it kind of comes back to the addiction, right? Of once you start going to some of these events, you start seeing what's going on and hanging out with these crazy nuts that share an event or share an interest. And, we want to do something here locally, and we want to do something here locally that's going to be big. I know there's been a lot of events that have happened here, such as, some last minute multi-GP qualifiers and all that kind of stuff that has generated 30 to 40 pilots. So I know it can be done. I know it can be an awesome event, but blending that in and exposing the wing side of it is going to be, a lot of fun and a passion that I've been trying to get going here in Houston. So
Absolutely.
Yeah, we have the same interest, I think. Some of the same
Yeah.
curiosities of how the near future is going to play out.
I think the wing community here in Houston's ready for it. I think we're at that point. I see so many new guys every week out there trying to, get up in the air with a wing. I think something like this would really open it up for us.
Well,
Yeah.
have you guys met my new team pilot, Sean?
What's up, Sean?
yeah,
Words,
man.
guys. Just hanging out.
You know what? I want to hear about this Sean guy, man. He's been kind of the strong silent type, but can I caveat that with? Can you guys give me 1 minute to go grab another beer out of the fridge?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Or Sean, you can go ahead and I'll catch up on the back end, but I'll be right back.
All right. Hey, I don't even know what to say.
Beers.
Beers.
Beers,
What do you fly?
Plenty of beers.
That's a good start.
Where do I fly? I'm from Kentucky, so I'm a little bit
You
more
fly
north than
Mason
everybody.
jar. You fly a mason jar is what you're saying.
Hey, would y'all? I got a question. I smoke cigarettes. Would y'all care if I grabbed a cigarette and smoked it on the show? Would it be bad?
I don't care. I mean,
I'm gonna go get a cigarette because we've been sitting here forever.
no, there's really nowhere around here for me to fly, so I usually fly down here to my kid's school. It's like 2 miles down the road, and it's all wide open country out here. I first got my long range set up, and 2 miles first shot. No interference, no nothing. Just said to hell with it. If it goes down, it goes down. It's in a field.
Yeah, you know where it is, right?
Yep. And the second time I got it out and stretched it, I was with Bob and Donnie out at their place, and we went 3 miles. I did the same route that Donnie did with his. I don't even know what his system is. A Dragon Link. He was running that, and I'm running R9. And I went all the way out there with him.
Nice.
Yeah, there's a couple clubs near me, but the club stuff isn't really for me, I guess.
Well, we're a good group, man. I guess we're not a club. I don't know what we are.
I didn't even know who the hell Bob was until the second or third time I came down and hung out with him.
Well, let me know who I am since you figured it out.
That's why I don't think we're a club either. I like to consider us a team.
Yeah, that's definitely how we are.
A club bakes cookies and takes care of each other. A team pushes each other and holds you accountable. You know what I mean? They're gonna when you're part of a team and you suck and win, somebody's gonna let you know it.
And that's like we try to. We're trying to do things, not trying to unveil a whole banana of what we're trying to do in our future, but like when we took Sean on, it was, look, we don't have to go like you're saying like in a team, right? But we're trying to do something, but we've all got to do it together. So we've all kind of got to be of the equal knowledge, the equal communication, the equal, everything's got to be in sync. Sync is the word that I'm looking for.
I wasn't even looking to join anything. I was just down. First time I'd ever flown with anybody.
He meshed right in.
It was like perfect mesh. Hang out. Hey, that's wrong. That's wrong. Okay, cool. Fix stuff and get stuff going.
Yeah.
But I mean, I think it's pretty cool, man, that we got a pilot where we don't have to step all the way back, because we'll wait. You know what I mean? I'll sit there in the bench. No, we need to get him caught up before. You know what I mean? He needs to go experience this before. Before we go into a pack and do this. You know what I mean? So I'll sit and we wait. So it kind of holds the pack back from our progression that we were working on, but he fit in like a glove. Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. Anyway.
Yeah, we experience that on a regular basis. That's one, like Jacob said, we have one cool group of homies that we hang out with.
We win together, we lose together. I guess that's what we're going to be, but we're going to have a damn good time while doing it. It might blow something up. So.
That's for sure.
So you got any questions, Sean? You've never been to an event before. You got any curiosities?
No, I've never done anything. This will be my first going out there.
Cool. You're going to love it.
Heck yeah.
Your first event's going to be out here in Houston or Texas?
Yep.
Oh, buddy.
That'll be the first.
Yeah, we'll make sure we ice down a couple of tubs. And, that's right, man.
Yeah.
We know
how to treat virgins. Don't worry.
They got Yetis down there.
Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah, they run around in the bush.
No, stay away from the bushes, seriously, because there could be something else in there.
Oh yeah.
That's what I hear. You know what I mean? You know, I hear you might want to come packing just to be safe.
Yeah, that could happen. Well, you don't necessarily need a pack because pretty much everybody else will be packing. So if you don't have one and you're around enough guys, somebody's got a piece with them.
You won't be too far from the group.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
And back to you guys like team comments and all that stuff, man. I mean, chime out a bit, but it's so awesome to see.
That builds that builds the excitement. It's like this can be FPV gone wild. You know what I mean? We're not gonna have to be naked and afraid at the same time, are we? You know, I don't know. It is kind of funny. You guys there? Hello.
Yeah, we're here. Yeah.
Sorry.
Mike's on.
Sorry about that.
Is this on?
Gotcha.
Oh.
So anyway, I cut you off from that.
You're good. No, I was just going to comment just how cool my team or the guys that I fly with are. I mean, we got, a crazy guy named Lucas who is a guy that literally whispers in your ear while you're flying. Man, you can't do that inverted.
Dennis, that's Dennis.
And I mean, he just like totally gets at you. And then you got, Wee Win, who is the 3D printing master of the crew and
Damn right
technical guy, awesome dude. And then, I mean, you got Joe, myself, who are kind of like, the older guys that are flying around and taking in everything. Then you got, Trey, big heart, big, great dude. Absolutely awesome guy. You guys meet my wife? She just got home.
Hi, Mrs. Jacob Wilson.
Yeah, then you got a couple other crazy cats that we fly with. And it's just so fun, and that's the team spirit. And we have it, we got the guys that push you. You got the guys that you need help, and they help you out, and they build this. And then I mean, anytime we get together, we're making phone calls of hey man, do you need this? Do you need anything out of my stash? Do you have this? Do you have that? So that's the other cool thing is the team aspect of it is we're not trying to keep anybody from doing anything. We're trying to help each other grow and help each other get better. And I've gotten better by watching Rotor Ranch and and Lucas and these guys fly. And then I forgot to mention too, probably one of the coolest dudes I know, Justin, the quad guy that been doing some badass wing chase videos, flying his quad. Another guy of the crew, but just everybody's just they're out there to help, and that's what I think the big team aspect is all about, man. And it sounds like you guys got a good crew handling over there too.
Yeah, man, we're definitely getting better. Definitely getting better in every aspect of everything.
They got Donnie chained to the desk, I think. I think he's going to be building wings for like 3 months.
He better have CA on his fingertips, right? No, I'm just playing. I love Donnie. No, to be honest with you,
fingertips, he just pulls it off.
If it doesn't matter, if I had the box over here and it was from Ready Made or it was from Right Wing, he would run right over here. What you got in the box? That's foam. No shit. And then he'd take, I'll go build this for you. He'd take it anyway. It doesn't matter if I ask him or not. But he loves to build. You know what I mean?
That's what's beautiful about the community, man. You learn so much. You learn so much from everybody else. And that's another thing. Going to these events, going to any event, you see just different people's equipment and you have an appreciation for it. But then you also look at it. Oh man, I see what he did there. Yep. He did this, he did that, and
it's a hobby. It's a art and craft hobby. Do it your way.
Oh yeah. I came from mini quad and built an iNav wing. Well, you pop the top of it. It looks just like a mini quad on the inside.
Right.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's that's a beautiful thing. You're all you really are trying to do is you've got to control the amount of thrust that you're giving, your amount of throttle that you're giving the motor. But as long as you have a motor on there pushing a piece of foam and you have control of it,
it flies.
Throw it down there, you're there, man.
Yep.
It's keeping all the parts running. It's the issue.
Yep. Making it all work together.
And not flying behind, knowing your path. We all know there's a whole bunch of things that go together with a successful flight. You know.
Yeah. That's the other thing. Like, I mean, with wings, I have more working wings. At one point, I think I have more wings now that I had quads, but at one point I probably had the same amount of quads as I did wings. And I will tell you that my quads, half of them were broken or I was having to work on, where my wings, I've got 8 wings right now that are, I turn my radio on, throw a battery in them, they're ready to fly. It wasn't the case with the quads.
Yeah, you can. It's 4 times the amount of parts, I think, is what the problem is.
Yeah. That's what steered me away from it. It's like I didn't need wings.
You know what it is? To be honest with you, why I left the quads cold turkey, it was an instant thing. Is the stress went down, the anxiety went down. It's like the micromanagement, I think, of the quad. There's a lot more millisecond movement. You know what I'm saying? Than there was with the planes. It's more relaxing.
I still have a blast flying the quads every once in a while, and
we do.
and it's a different thrill. But the wing thing for me was, you know, you're a fighter pilot, man. You're freaking Tom Cruise when you're in the, you know, under goggle. I mean, you're chasing down MiGs or whatever you want to call them. You're doing the thing, man. But yeah, and then you do all that, and you be like, you know what? You just fly up into the sky and you just coast around and look at the world from 399 feet. You know what I mean?
So in this video here, is this the place? That's a park. I'm playing Rotor Ranch's video.
Yeah, that's the part. You want me to? Here, it's kind of a fun video, man. Let me shoot you. I'll shoot you a clip from that YouTube that I did. There's some pretty good shots of that. Yeah, I'll pop it in real quick. 2 seconds. It was a lot of fun too, because then we had McGap. McGap was down there. God, they're gonna kill me for not remembering all their names, but you know, there was some, like, probably 5 to 6 of the top Texas pilots were at Neil's place whenever I did that chase run, man. So they're just all over it, having a blast. Yeah, I just copied it. It'll be in your inbox. I'm gonna IM you. Is that cool, Bob?
Yeah, ready, man. I'm sitting here ready. You know, another thing that I noticed is Paul Cow. Paul Cow. Yeah, they've got an event going on right at the same weekend just north of us in Arizona. Pretty decent. That last weekend of April there. So just
he's got a STEM C event.
Yeah, there's a STEM thing that he's got going on. So I don't know if that might affect, some crowds and what you guys are thinking. But I know I have a few people that the Quarazes, Harvey and the Banditos.
Oh yeah, man. Harvey and Belinda.
Yeah, I know that they both expressed some interest of definitely to that.
Yeah, I've been dragging my ass. I've been meaning to get out there to them and try to help them out with their 44. She's got a beautiful, beautiful 44, and they just had a few little issues on it. So I told them I'd be glad to come out there and hang out with you guys for a little while, and they open their arms and house. And,
oh, they look like just they're so sweet. I do a lot of their 3D printing stuff for them, and I do some of their designs. For years I've just done little bits and pieces. He used to fly quads all the time. I don't even know if he's really messing with the quads really. I see him playing planes.
I think you got Donnie's Drac and just went nuts, man.
He may have joined the dark side.
We got a couple of guys over here that are doing the same thing. A couple of quad guys that I know have flown, and they're starting to get into wings. One of them a really, really cool dude, Drew, and he got a mini Drac, and He's building that thing out, and it was after he flew at this event, the long track. He flew my boom track, and he was in love, man. So getting that exposure and having some fun with it, and there's nothing wrong with flying quads and flying wings. I mean, there's absolutely nothing wrong with it. But
It's me, Jacob.
yeah, you didn't get the. I just sent you the link. Why didn't it go through? I'm yapping. Yeah, I sent you the link. You didn't get it?
Mm-mm.
I'll resend it. See if I.
You sent it through there, right? Yeah, I see you typing.
Straight from where you responded. Yeah, the opening shot's got the camera behind me, and I'm plugging in a battery.
That's weird.
Are you getting it?
No.
Damn.
And I seen it popped up 3 little circle things.
Oh, it's thinking about the link. I'm just copying the link address.
Yeah, you know what? Facebook's doing some weird stuff with their stuff right now. Everything seems to be a little funny running here lately.
Yeah. Yeah, I don't know. Let me know if you get it here. Can you turn that back on?
I'm gonna keep watching it here.
Yeah, see if it pops up, or maybe I can. Let me go on the Thrust.
Speaking of Senior Donnie, I got some Econa coat, and we did the instead of paint, we did all covering on this one. We all know what this is. Got my 3D printed scoop for cooling. Yeah, he did a pretty good job. This is actually cardboard, and then he put the Econa coat on the side of it and firmed it up and made it tougher. It's pretty darn good for cardboard, man, with the covering on it at the same time. White top me. Good old white top.
Hey, Bob, I posted a link in the Thrust page. I don't know if you have it open or not.
Yeah, it will be.
But that was a blast, man. And with those guys chasing the quads, and you'll see it in the video, but being the pilot on the ground, and I'm flying this thing, and I hear him freaking chuckling and laughing and oh, just going off. It was fucking blast. Absolute blast.
There you go. I had to cut you guys out. You're out of here.
Get out of here.
Get out of here. Is this it? Is this it? Is this the place?
Yeah, that is Neil's place. So you'll get a couple of shots of
me.
me.
Cool. We even get to see a preview. Wow, that place is big.
Yeah, it's a couple 100 acres.
Yeah, and where we're flying right there is a piece of it.
Yeah, a small piece of it.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm checking the feed.
Looks like you're going up to the clouds, maybe? No.
No, I didn't have my long range set up there.
You like that inverted little thing, don't you?
Dude, it is so fun under goggle, man. Your stomach just falls when you dive inverted, and then you're seeing nothing but ground, and you just keep scooping underneath. It's insane.
That is beautiful.
Yeah, that's his place. I know I'm 20 seconds behind, but that's only a portion of it. So you guys can see, and I'm looking at it late, but there's the lake is on the left of some of those shots in the opening, and then the road coming in is on the right. Yeah. Oh, did we lose rotor?
Something weird going on. Either he went slow motion or something. Here, let me pull back into the scene. Yeah, we lost rotor. Bye-bye, rotor. We got to call him back or something.
Yeah, I'm going to have to start heading to bed here in a little bit. I got to get up at 6 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, I think. I don't have to get up that early, but.
Yeah, we set up a race there, one of the first races, and we were pretty lax about it, but we actually went across that pond and around a tree, and the track was just, it was so massive, man. It it was fun. It was a great get together, but it separated the fast wings from the slower wings dramatically by like almost a whole lap. So it's so big. I mean, it's an enormous place.
When you set up a wing course, what is your like? To me, I would think like the length of the course is always the size of the course is always kind of the question in my head. You know what I mean? What is a good size without making it too big? You know what I mean?
So I set up the course at Flight Fest, and the goal behind that was to try to keep it in a semi football field length area. So and what that does is it makes it a lot more technical. And you know, you want to incorporate all the FPV WRA, you know, the Emmelman, flags, gates, all that kind of stuff. But you know, really the layout was designed around trying to make a semi-tight course that pushes your skill level. And that, you know, at Neil's place was the first time I ever, you know, or first time we all ever tried to design a track. And that's when we realized, man, these wide open tracks are great if you're running, you know, open, you know, 6S or actually I think the open, you can't run 6, I think 4S. But, you know, you got a super fast, like a demon. I think the guy that, Trey was the guy that won. But he had a demon, and I mean, it was just smoking everybody because he was cutting through the air like a razor blade. And, you know, you have that long of a run and that wide of a track. Yes, it's docile. Yes, it's beginner friendly. But it's not very technical, and you're not getting any better. So, you know, when we did Flight Fest, we set that course up, and Joe flew it. Me and Joe flew it a couple of times, and I got some chase footage of him too. But yeah, it was a lot of fun. That track was technical. It forced you to
tighter. Yeah.
And you knew it.
You know what I think, you guys, and what I think we need to do. I think we brought enough of the force west enough where we gotta get Chris to come down for that. I mean,
blast.
If you can get Alex Grieve to come down, if we can get them to, and yeah,
that might be.
It'd be a good time. At least entertaining. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, it'd be entertaining for sure.
Chris, I wonder if Chris flies anymore.
Oh man, I'm sure he does. I mean, he's been busy, dude. These nano jacks have been kicking his.
Oh, it's
ass.
business now. And
yeah,
it's good for him. Take it when it's good.
Yeah, and you know the byproduct of it, man. I'll tell you, you know, I'm building nano right now. I see Joe's snuggling up with his. He keeps his really, really close. You know, mine's still in the paint shop, so it's finishing off paint. I'm kind of working on lamb, but you know the byproduct of it is producing a you know, a molded foam version, and I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna buy one here regardless, just from the build, from the size of this thing, the compactness when you break it down, and if it flies halfway decent, I'm all over getting another one whenever they come out to the streets. So because this thing it's amazing.
Yeah, absolutely.
You guys have flown it?
No. And when I say amazing, I'm talking in the build process right now. I'm still on paint. I'm just saying, and it goes through. So, and I'm sure. I mean, you've built more wings than I could probably even imagine. But you know, when you're putting something together, you can tell on the time and dedication it takes to plan and organize the build process of building one of these wings versus, you know, having a couple pieces of foam, gluing them together, and then start cutting out everything. You know what I mean? Like, there's just a huge difference.
The difference is it goes from my checking account to Donnie's bench.
Hang on one second. I gotta let my dog out. I'll be right back.
Yeah.
So how's the weather in Texas? Y'all warm?
Yeah, it's been cold. Been cold, windy, rainy.
It's getting cold, man. It's like 40 degrees.
Yeah.
Like Northerners will laugh.
I think Sean's about to freeze. I think they're calling for some crazy cold thing again, one of them Arctic things.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we're gonna miss it just on the edge of it. But
It says it's 26 out right now, so
when does it start? You're supposed to hit 23 below zero and sit there for like a week and a half or something.
I don't know about all that.
Yeah, check the news. This thing keeps unwrapping. It's one of them polar vortex things.
Yeah, I'll have to check it. I ain't seen that one yet. I know we're supposed to have a cold snap.
Yeah,
It's supposed to snow again tonight, but I don't think it's doing anything outside.
yeah, it's some crazy. And that's without wind, man.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I'm glad I moved out of the north.
I'm in between.
Yeah.
But yeah, the build process on this Nano has been amazing. I mean, I've been taking my time with it, but back to that, when you're putting together some of these wings, you see it, and Bob, I know you see it. You like again, you built more than I've ever imagined.
Oh, I don't know. I crash them.
You crashed.
I feel like here's the way how I look at this. I was explaining it to my brother the other day, and I'm like, I feel like this. If I was to take me and the missus out to go to see a movie, it'd probably be about 35 or 40 bucks just to get into the movie. Then if there's dinner involved, that now you're up to like $100 a night. You know what I mean, or whatever. Just for instance, just one scenario. After I've say like if I put $300-400 into one of these planes, what is it? You know what I mean? After you've taken it out 5 or 6 times, you've broken it in. You know what I mean? From that point, I feel that I've gotten my money worth out of it, and I'm gonna have fun with it now. That's
True. That's how I feel about that spec wing. I've not even put it up in the air yet, except for the maiden. And you better believe it's coming down this weekend. And if it's clear enough, Bob, we're gonna rip the crap out of it.
Yeah, we got a lot of stuff that I'd like to do this weekend, if it works out. I don't know if this cold.
Which spec is that?
The wind catcher.
Oh, the wind catcher. Okay. Awesome. Yeah, that's the one Joe's going to be trying out, correct?
Yeah, that's the one that Lee sent us to test out, and we're gonna let all the H-Town guys fly it and see how everybody likes it. We have some fun with it.
We're gonna go live this weekend with Sean and Trevor and Donnie. They're gonna do the sparring system and everything live all together this weekend. Awesome. So if you guys haven't built it yet, I know you guys know what you're doing, but I don't know, you may have some question because it is different than anything that we've ever done before. You know what I mean? Donnie's got anchor points on his bench. He knows measurements from certain corners and everything like that. You'll be good. You can't. I don't think you can really mess it up. But
nah, the PDF that Lee put together for it was pretty good. It's pretty.
Yeah, he's good, isn't he?
Yeah. The only thing I would when reading through it, the only thing I would suggest is probably cutting that battery bay out before you glue the wing halves together. It's probably a lot easier.
Yeah, I don't know. I usually do that very last. I mount the motor, the ESC, and everything, and then I set the battery on top. I find the CG. I cut the battery tight, and then drop it in. Then you don't ever have to worry about adding weight.
One thing cool I just thought about it. With this the Texas Fest, the Bro Fest, whatever we're gonna call it up in April. It would be kind of cool if we had a build night where a lot of guys got together and hell, we can, see if we can get some spec wings at a decent price and put them together and let these guys see the build process.
I was thinking the same thing. It's funny you said that. I was thinking the same thing.
Yeah, and then let them build, especially the quad guys.
I think I might be able to get my sponsor to help. I think we can get Lee to help out with that.
Yeah, I think that'd be killer.
Yeah.
And get an enrollment. Get a attendee list at an enrollment phase where hey, do you want to build a spec wing, and you get to take the wing home. In charge.
You know what? Here's a good one. Check this out, guys. You want to build up the attendance? I'll put up the wing for a new pilot. I'll pay for it out of my pocket for a new pilot, and he builds his wing on set.
That'd be pretty
Yeah.
cool.
You're killing 3 birds with 1 stone.
Yeah.
So it should be easy to find somebody online that's going to be there in Texas that you know what I mean. I've seen a lot of interest in wings this year. Since Christmas, there's a boom. Wings have really come out of the woods.
I think it's going to grow even more once they start seeing these things rip through the air, and you're actually able to see them, and you can spectate and not have to worry about putting goggles down and catching one person's view. You can just stand and watch them, man. And when you see 2 or 3 wings flying a pattern, and you're watching it line of sight, it is probably one of the coolest things I've ever seen.
It's such a short trip, though. Line of sight, though, it's there and it's gone.
What's that?
Line of sight, that thing. You look, and it's gone.
Yeah. But you put them on a course, though, and the pattern of the course. You're able to kind of see that, and then it's a lot. Imagine a quad trying to do that. You're like, I think I see. Oh, there it is. Oh, yeah. Oh, it just went through the.
When we launch from the field, our big field, we don't see you for 24 minutes until you come back again. Man, we got miles, baby, of land. It's just, but don't go down. You may not be able to get there. You may take a boat.
Go down on the other side of the river.
There may be no access. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. Well, I'm looking forward to it, man. And back time, I'm gonna have to close out and start heading up. But man, these events, CFL, that's gonna be kicking off the end of February, and then BroFest, close to my heart, gonna be right here in Houston. It can easily turn into probably an awesome annual event. But the addiction of once you go to these things and you start seeing how cool people actually are, the interaction you have with them, the memories that you make. Joe hit it on the head last show you guys had. The journey sometimes is way more than the destination.
Absolutely.
And just getting together and making those events, even if you don't get to fly, even if you don't get to do something else, we have the funny stories. We have Joe trucking through the mud, flooring it, wondering why the truck's not revving up and it's, getting traction, or awesome. Donnie saying, like all of a sudden, poof, there's this big caravan with a bunch of hellions coming through and all that stuff. It's all about making those memories. And that's, that's what it's really about. I mean, quads go down, wings go down, things break, times get tough, but hanging out and being with
the mood goes up.
Yeah, and that's what it's all about. So hopefully we'll see a lot of guys, and hopefully I'll be able to catch up with a lot of guys, and fill my memories with everlasting times like catching up with Donnie and cracking a bottle of Jeremiah weed and watching water miraculously miss Dave Holine through the tent, man.
So do what I just did online, everybody. Go to the CFL website on the Facebook page and hit that friend request sent. Let's go ahead and let's help these guys out, and let's get this all boosted. Everybody that's watching the show here. There's the link. That's how I got there, CFL space FPV, into the search. And then jump on in there. I imagine anything you want to know, you could probably find from there.
Yeah, absolutely. And follow us, and we'll keep you updated and posted on BroFest.
Yeah, BroFest will be more as it develops. It's still months down the road. So
yeah, we'll see how that all plays out. But CFL is definitely in the works and right around the corner. So hope to see everybody there. Bob, thanks again. Really appreciate you having me on the show, man. Absolute blast. I haven't been up this late in a long time. I'm an old man, as my buddy Wee keeps telling me, but. Really appreciate it. Had a great conversation. Sean, keep ripping it up, man. Congrats on the sponsorship and joining the Thrust team. There's some great guys, man.
Welcome to the fray.
Don't let Donnie get you alone too long. You know, you never know how you're going to turn out.
I don't know. I'm heading down and crashed at his place again this weekend, so.
Maybe I might want to bring some debonder with me for the CA.
Yeah.
All right, guys, I gotta sign out, man. Really, really appreciate it.
Have a
Thanks
good
lot.
one, Jacob. Thanks for visiting the
Have a
show.
good one, man.
Night, Jacob.
Later.
Yeah, well, I'm gonna follow Jacob. I'm gonna get off of here too. I got work in the morning.
Yeah,
It's been a lot.
I took 3 naps during that, so I had an automatic run. It was just a rerun. I put it loop. All right, guys. Yeah, I think I'm totally done. It is 11:34. That's an hour and a half show. Pretty good content.
Yeah, absolutely. Everybody keep it
I'm
in
an
the
hour
air.
ahead
We'll
of you
see you
guys,
next.
so.
See you later, guys.
Later,
Have a good
brother.
one.